one of Donald Trump's lawyers, her name is Alina Habba, goes on television a lot. I don't even know how much she is his lawyer in practice, but she's on TV a lot, and she's technically Trump's attorney. Okay. And she always has these interviews that are really bizarre. This might be the most wild interview Alina Habba has done. Just a complete disaster. And it seems this audio tape of Trump admitting, seemingly, or being caught committing crimes has broken the brains of a lot of people trying to defend Trump. We've talked about multiple examples of right-wing media figures trying to explain, oh no, well, he was just saying it was a classified document, but it wasn't. But if it was, it's okay. And it also was planted by the FBI, but Trump was talking about something, but it was a golf thing, and he was lying. It's really strange. And their brains are just no longer functioning because of this caught red-handed type moment. And that definitely also characterized Alina Habba. Take a look at this theory she floated in response to the big news.
If you look at what's happened just this week, Rob, we had a submarine as a distraction because Joe Biden's son, Hunter, who was on his way to Camp David, got caught, got a slap on the wrist. Meanwhile, Alan Weisselberg, who did far less, spent 180 days in jail. Right. We have J.P. Morgan paying Epstein's people $250 million. Nobody covered it. This is a continuation of what we've seen, right? It's a political demonstration of corruption.
Does this lead?
What is she talking about? Why? They're so lazy with their talking points, too. So she's saying that the Titan submersible and the tragedy of people dying as they were going down to see the Titanic in the Titan submersible, that was a distraction from Hunter Biden, or at least the coverage of it was a distraction from Hunter Biden's plea agreement. She's saying he just got a slap on the wrist, which is kind of the talking point, sweetheart deal, when in reality, the plea agreement he got was good for Hunter Biden, for sure. He avoided any prison time, but it had to do with tax charges, 2 years he didn't pay his taxes, that getting dealt with, and then a lying on a federal form about being addicted to controlled substances. He said he wasn't when he was getting a firearm, and he was, so a gun potential charge there. And the plea agreement that he got was very much in line with similar plea agreements that come of situations like this with these types of potential charges. So it's very strange that that's the talking point. And then to say that the J.P. Morgan Chase settlement with Epstein victims, what that's also getting distracted from with the Trump tapes? I don't know. This is from Reuters, in case you missed this. JP Morgan Chase $290 million settlement with Epstein accusers wins preliminary approval. So what's going on there is, and we have more to look at from Alina Habba in a moment, but the victims of Jeffrey Epstein are going to JP Morgan Chase and saying, you should have seen the facts coming to the surface about Jeffrey Epstein sooner and cut off business with him. But they did not as promptly as they should have. And so they're going to have to pay out to the victims, which is really a good thing. But I don't understand at all how that connects to her defense of Trump. Who knows? Pretty wild. Next moment from this interview.
I don't know where else this would have come from.
Well,
where else would it have? I don't know.
It couldn't have come from
the reporter that recorded it. I don't know.
It wasn't. It's impossible.
So let me start this over. I think you pick up on the context from what you just heard there, but they're speculating as to who leaked the audio to CNN.
I don't know where else this would have come from.
Well,
where else would it have? I don't know.
It couldn't have come from
the reporter that recorded it. I don't know.
It wasn't. It's impossible. The reporter wouldn't have. As you heard in the reporting, they said off the record. He said off the record. They wouldn't do that. There has to be some evidence that came from the DOJ. Why? Because they're losing. They're losing in the polls. They're losing in the media, and they're losing this case. That's what happens.
Do you think do you think they? I don't know.
We'll see if they lose this case, Alina Habba. We'll see. I'm pretty confident, actually, about the prosecution's case here, especially based on this audio recording. And there's no evidence the DOJ leaked this. It's actually much more likely that, yes, the person who recorded that conversation, that whole interaction, bizarre moment, they gave it to CNN, or it could have been for a number of different reasons being speculated about from Trump's camp, because shortly after his team was handed these bits of evidence, including that audio recording, it leaked. The DOJ has had that recording for a very long time now, but it just now leaked only days after Trump's team got it. But I think it's most likely whoever recorded it gave it up. But she says, no, it's impossible because Trump said off the record. Yeah, okay. And then last thing we'll look at, this is from a Fox News interview this same day.
Tape says.
So is it the position of the president that when he was having that conversation, the information that he was talking about was already declassified, or was it what he told Brett Baird that it was a news article there, or is it either or is it both?
I don't.
Before we watch a response, which is priceless, that question. Okay, so Trump in an interview shortly before the audio was published says, no, in that audio that's being reported on, because we had the transcript, but we hadn't yet actually heard the audio, or we had reporting about the transcript. Oh, no, it's not a document per se is how he worded it. It's not a classified document. It was just papers. I was talking about articles, and it wasn't at all a classified document. Then you hear the recording. Clearly, it is a document that is classified that's about a possible attack on Iran that's being referred to. And the Fox News host there, because he's asking a question that's a question that should be asked, but also wants to frame it in kind of a Fox News friendly to Alina Habba type way. So is it that he was lying in that interview, or he was telling the truth, or is it kind of it's an article like he said, but it's a declassified article? Could it be both or either, or we don't really care?
I don't know, and here's what I do know. The clip they put out doesn't answer that question. All it says is President Trump said, hi, look, if I was president, I can declassify a classified document. And when you're not president, you can't. Only the president can do that. What does that say? Well, it says exactly what dual system of justice we're living in. That's what I heard. That's what I saw. And and by the way, all we know.
She says that's what I heard. She's listening to the audio recording. Proof. Two-tier justice system right here. Trump's being targeted by an audio recording that catches him in the act committing a crime. Wow. How does that come out of your mouth? And then, I was just talking about earlier in today's show, prioritizing kindness and the importance of kindness. I know I'm kind of contradicting that with what I'm about to say, but I'm getting far too much pleasure experiencing the panic coming from people like Alina Habba, the unraveling, the complete incapability of creating, forming, and delivering an effective argument, because there isn't one as to why what we heard in that audio was acceptable. It wasn't. And it's exactly what he's being accused of. He's being caught in that audio proving. It's pretty stunning. So because of the clear, undeniable nature of something like that, you have to go, well, listen, he was just saying in the audio, no, you heard it wrong. He was saying, generally, I can't declassify, but that has nothing to do with the document that I'm referring to as being the document that I can't declassify. No. He was just generally talking about how the law works, unrelated to the quote unquote this, as he's shaking a document you can hear that was being referred to. And also this really, when you think about it, just proves what's the talking point? Oh yeah, weaponized against conservatives. And then she snaps back into that. Pretty embarrassing. And as I said, I do prioritize kindness, but I think there's there's an example where it's okay to go, yes, you should feel uncomfortable, embarrassed, humiliated that you have to be that dishonest. That's on you, Alina Habba. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to be a part of what makes this show possible, plus get access to the full video version of the show hours before all the clips are able to be uploaded to the YouTube channel, plus get the bonus show on the weekends, you can do so by going to lukebeasleyshow.com/membership. That's lukebeasleyshow.com/membership, and there's a link in the description.